What's going on YouTube? It's Armani, and today we're going to be making a simple greenhouse in Ark Survival Evolved Mobile Edition. Um, I've already placed down the foundations for this build. So I went with a 5x7 foundation for this. We're basically going to make it an efficient but decent build. Um, it's going to be good looking, not just a simple greenhouse, but you know, good looking greenhouse. Um, So yeah, let's get started. So I like to start with, basically I start with metal fence foundations to set up my pillars first. So I'm gonna place down my pillars here. There's one. Get one on this side. Another one here. So I usually do like each corner while I'm doing my buildings, but I place these down so that I'm able to place these pillars at the corners of the building, the foundation. And I'll usually put like 2 or 3. It just gives it a little bit of style or detail to the building. So, oops, I didn't put the engrams. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna need a couple pillars here. Let's make some of these. Awesome. Okay. So I usually put 2 or 3 of these down each corner. Just like this. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. And so now I'm just gonna start off with a layer of greenhouse walls. Usually I go too high, just 2 to start off with. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some greenhouse walls. I didn't make any of this. Let's make some of these. I'm just gonna put them in my inventory. And I should put them down here. I don't know why I have ramps, but I'm just gonna put these here. So I usually go too high. Just like this. On all the sides. Okay. Perfect. Now you can see I already placed a ramp here. So this ramp is actually going to be for my doorway. I'm going to have a door. It's going to be right there. And I'm going to make that right now actually. So I usually just use a greenhouse door like any other door, you know. And let's place this down. So I'll put this here. And then I'll place a wall on top of this door. So now we have this nice foundation with 2 walls stacked on top and a couple pillars. And as you can see, it's already coming out really nicely so far. The hard part is actually doing the roof part of this, because the roof is actually what's going to make it outstanding or more popping out than usual. So we're going to go ahead and start with the roof. And I believe I already have the materials for that. So let me make... I usually start it off with like a simple shape, so I'll put 2 here. I'll put 3, about 3 here, 3 here. I'll put this down like we're making a triangle. And then I'll add like a cool effect to it to where it's not like matching each other, it's like opposite. So it looks something like this. Kind of like a X, but you know. But we're basically gonna do that on both sides. Just like that. And then we're also going to do the same thing. Well, not the same thing. We're going to have a different pattern on the other two sides of the walls. So this is like the starting out of these two sides. And so we're going to do these sides here. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're just going to do a simple triangle with this one, because we don't want to make it too complex, but we want it to look nice at the same time. So with this, I think I'm just going to do a regular triangle, just like that. And I'm going to place 3 on this side as well. So now they're matching each other on both sides. Same thing on the other side as well. And this is kind of like how you want to make your buildings, is you want to do the walls first before you start with the roofs, because when you set the walls up, it's basically your foundation for your roof. So this is how I usually do it. And I usually set it up just like this, where I make a pattern on each side, and then I'll try to connect them at the end, which we're going to do here in a second. So yeah, let me go ahead and get started with that. So you can use thatch walls for this process. What I'm about to do here is I'm going to place these walls down, and it's basically setting a foundation for what I'm about to do with the roof. But it kind of it keeps everything together. It kind of makes the walls stick for the roof, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Let me just get some more walls going. Thought I had more walls than this. This is weird. Okay. Alright, there we go. So basically I'll place these down, and it creates a foundation for the roof. And as you can see, I got these weird 2 walls standing up. You don't have to use metal like how I'm doing here. You can use thatch walls to make it less expensive, like on official servers. But I'm just using these because it's faster for me, or what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go ahead and get some greenhouse walls, because we need more greenhouse walls. So I'll just take this and make a couple of these, and I'll actually place them right on the top of these foundations. So you can kind of see what I'm doing, kind of, sort of. So I'm placing these walls here because at the end of the build, these are going to end up sticking on top of the roof when I start hatching. What I mean by hatching is like when I start cross hatching the walls and the ceilings together, it's going to end up sticking with each other because these are up here, like they're already set there. So when I go ahead and start placing the walls on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. You're gonna kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna start with this corner here, and I'm just gonna place these walls matching with the walls here. And you're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Here we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and place some ceilings where that was. Same thing here. And I'm just kind of filling in the blanks of the empty spaces. Pretty much what we're doing here. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill this spot here. Just like that. And I'm gonna delete this here, and then place this wall, and then I'm gonna place that. You see how it cross-hatched each other? So when it cross-hatches like that, it tends to stick to each other. So once I end up, like at the end, when I start deleting those metal walls, you'll see that it ends up sticking. And that's how I actually get the designs that I choose. So I'm gonna put this here, and this here. And it's cross-hatching there as well. So that's done. This side's done. And then we're gonna go ahead and go on this side and do technically the same thing. Let me just delete this here. Put this here. And let me pick that up. For some reason, like it's like the opposite on this side. I'm not sure why it does that. Probably because I'm on the opposite side. Alright, let me just put in the daytime. I can't see. There we go. Perfect. So now we're left with something like this. And we've done pretty much both the sides. And you can kind of see on the sides that there's a bit of a design to it. And it looks nice. Compared to like your regular square greenhouse. It just gives you a little good look to it. You know, a special little click to it. So now I'm going to go ahead and keep on going. So as you can see, I can keep going with these. And that's what exactly I'm going to keep doing, is I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just pick that up. Oops. Sometimes you have to move around to find like the perfect snap point to make it work. And sometimes you think it won't work, but really it does work. And you just have to find the right position to get in order to do so. So I'm just going to keep going on this. So once these are done, I'm just going to complete those ceilings. So you can just kind of keep going with the ceilings as well. And now you have something looking like this. And as you can see, those metal walls did help. Because once I'm done with all this, these walls right here are actually going to stay in place because the cross-hatching is starting and they're going to stick. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing these. And you can see it just goes right into it. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Oops. I gotta get some more slope walls. Let me get some more crystal and metal. Perfect. So I'm gonna get some more of these. Okay. So, got more of these, and I'm just gonna keep going. Let me delete these walls. Oh, delete this and put this in. Like I said, you have to find that position to get in to make it work. Oops. There we go. So it cross-hatched there, and it also cross-hatched there. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. On this side. Let me delete this wall and cross-hatch it. Should stick. Listen, doing it. See, I'm just kind of having problems here myself. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. If I can just get this to get in here. There we go. So once that's done, you can kind of see we already have our shape made, and the greenhouse is looking really good from the outside. Now we're just gonna go ahead and finish it up. We're gonna put our ceilings on top, just like that, and we're done. It's that simple. And basically you have this nice beautiful looking design to the greenhouse. It's a simple design, but it's, you know, decent looking, effective, and it has a lot of space in the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here, and I'm gonna delete these walls, well, in the inside. I kind of have to do this one by one. I can't do it separately because I don't have the right tool for doing that. Not tool, but you know. So as you can see, as I'm destroying these, they are actually sticking together, like how I said they would. So when I destroy these walls, those greenhouse walls that I placed on top of them are actually in combination with all the stuff that we've placed on the roof. So I'm gonna destroy all these. This might take a little bit. Jeez. Come on. Yeah, still gotta do the other side after this. I wish there was a faster way to do this, but fortunately there isn't. Kinda have to do it one by one. I thought there was a hole there for a second. I was about to say that would have been bad. So after this, I'm gonna show you guys what I like to do with my greenhouses when I'm done building this, like what I like to place inside of it and how I place what I do inside of them. I actually set up a different water system instead of like the pipes, like how people set up the pipes and then the stones and the water starts falling down. I don't do it that way. I actually just set up a simple valve system, just one single valve, and it should water the whole greenhouse. So there we go. We have all our walls destroyed, and inside it looks kind of messy, but this is what it looks like. But then again, it still works, and it's a better looking greenhouse than just your average square greenhouse, but you know, it's better than nothing. As you can see here. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the inside, and I'm gonna put a generator. So let's go ahead and find ourselves a generator. We got one here. And go ahead and place that down. I usually place it right here. Okay. Let me get some gas. A couple wires. A couple of these lamps. A couple of these. Maybe a couple fridges as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and get these out. I'm also going to place some lights in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the gas inside the generator, and I'm going to put this upwards. Is that how I did it? Yeah. Oops, I think I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh yeah, I need these. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. I'm going to set up the wiring in the inside first for the electricity. so we can have some light, you know. If I can get it in, I can't seem to get it in. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep doing these across the top of the... I need more. Damn it. Okay. So we got some of these. Yeah, we're gonna start placing these on top. Just like that. And I'm gonna place these blocks. I usually place them on like each corner of the greenhouse, because in every corner I usually put something, or I usually put a light or something, you know. Perfect. So now we have our electricity set up, or our arc electricity. And it's kind of cool because at the same time, when we set these up, they kind of blend in with the roof, so you can't really tell they're in here. So that's the cool part about this build. And let me go ahead and let me set up a couple of fridges in our greenhouse. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some on this side of the wall. I might set up 4 or 5 instead of 2, because that's just too simple. So I need some electronics. What do I get? All this stuff. And get some of these. So we got some fridges going. So I like to line them up together. Just like that. I think 5 is okay. Yeah, I think 5 is okay. You always want fridges in your greenhouse so that you can place your berries inside them, or your kibble, or whatever you need to do to make your kibble and your food. So next things next is I'm going to make a cooker. You always need a cooker. Industrial cooker. Polymer and metal. So let's go ahead and get some metal and some polymer. And I'm just gonna go ahead and drop these in. So let's go make a cooker. So we have a cooker. I'm gonna place it in this corner actually. If I can place it down. Okay, I think I know why we can't place it. So I usually use a valve system. So I usually grab these valves and a couple pipes. Well, I usually use metal pipes, but you can use whatever pipes you want. I'm gonna need one of these. And possibly one of these. Oh god, I need too many. I don't know why I need so much. Okay. I think that's good. So let's go ahead. It's kind of getting dark. I wanna. There we go. So, like I said, I don't use like a pipe system. I use a valve system. So I just kind of place the valve right in the middle, somewhat right in the middle of this. Kind of like right here. and I'll connect some pipes at the end and put it with the water. As you can see here. And I'll put this right in the water. No, it's not going in. Let's go ahead and put one of these down. One of these, I think. It already piped over here. There we go. So now we have our water. So we should be able to place our industrial cooker now. So this is how I get my water. You just place a single valve and you connect it, and it should water the whole place up actually. So when I place this down, like in the middle of this, as you can see, right now it's showing 0, but in a couple minutes it'll change. You'll see. I'll show you guys. See, now it's at 1,000, so it's getting its water. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually place any water stations anywhere you want around this valve, as long as there's a valve there. So like how I wasn't able to place the cooker there, I can place it there now because the valve is there. And so since we're able to do that, we can also place a couple beer barrels. And I usually place beer barrels to make beer. Sometimes you use these in recipes that you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and place 2 of these here. And the cool thing is you can place them anywhere you want, as long as there's a valve. And you don't have to worry about connecting it to a pipe or anything like that. So I'm gonna place one here and the other one next to it. So there you go. We have our industrial cooker, 2 beer barrels, a couple fridges. All we need is our pots. And I'll even show you guys the percentage of how much the greenhouse gives the pots. Let me just go ahead and see if I can make one. So I usually go with medium crop pots. I don't go with the large ones because it just takes up too much space. They give you the same amount of resources, I believe. It's just different sizes pretty much. I usually go with the medium ones though, because you get a lot more out of them. Thatch fiber stone. Just trying to make a couple here. I'm gonna make a bunch. I'm just gonna make 2. I'm not gonna fill up the whole greenhouse. But just to show you guys what it looks like. So as you can see, I placed them down, and you see they're already watered. They're 600% watered, and the greenhouse percent is 300%. Both of these. So this whole greenhouse is 300%. So whatever pot you place down, you'll get that full 300% rate. And if you look at the greenhouse looks amazing. Let me go ahead and place down a couple lights. And I usually place down lights at each corner of the greenhouse. And you can use any color you want. You can color the lights with your paintbrush. So as you can see, placing these down. And so far we have this. We have a beautiful greenhouse on our 5x7 foundations. So 7 long ways and 5 wide. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like at nighttime. So let me just change. So this is what it looks like. Very cool. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching and spending your time with me. Please leave us a like, a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, as you guys will help me post more content like this again. If you guys liked it, tell me if you liked it or not. Thank you very much. Bye.